No one will ever break these college football records. In advance of the 2019 season, we took a deep dive into the end. Now, we're going in the opposite direction. Which records are so impressive that we don't think they'll ever be broken? Record holder 305 yards, Corey Dillon, Washington vs. San Jose State. The incredible part of this record isn't just the total, but it's the fact that it's not inflated by a couple of long kick or punt returns. Plus, at that point, what do you even tell your unit if you're a defensive coordinator? So if this record is ever to be broken, it would probably be accomplished by a player likely a running back who's also a returner on special teams, running back a kickoff 90+ yards and having another 1 or 2 return opportunities, you on top of having a really productive quarter as a rusher and receiver. Essentially, it would take 3 explosive plays of at least 50 yards and probably 10 to 15 touches in the quarter to surpass Dillon's mark. That's why we don't. Record holder 6, Brooks Dawson, UTEP vs. New Mexico. The fun fact about this record is that Dawson set this record to start that game. So at one point, record holder 4, Denard Robinson, Michigan vs. Notre Dame. 24 interceptions in a game is a huge number and a total that could lead to a temporary benching, if not a permanent change at quarterback. Now imagine not. Odds are a quarterback gets pulled after the third one, right? Not if you're Denard Robinson, who set this notorious record against the Fighting Irish back in 2012. Record holder 1,318 yards, Charlie Calhoun, Texas Tech vs. Centenary. LA. Calhoun punted 36 times in Texas. Luckily for TV execs and fans of the sport, football has evolved where this record will likely never be in danger of being broken. Record holder 99 yards, Pat Brady, Nevada vs. Loyola Marymount. Beyond the near impossible physics regarding the difficulty of punting a football 99 yards, there's no way for a punt to travel more than 99 yards without being a touchback, so this is a rare record that has been maxed out. It can theoretically be tied, but it can't be topped. Record holder 4, Ashlyn Davis, Tulsa 2004. Returning 4 kickoffs for a touchdown over the course of a college career is pretty admirable for a kick returner. Returning 4 in scoring on a kick return in 4 consecutive games is rarefied air for return men, and there's a good chance that after a streak gets to 2 or 3 games, opposing kickoff specialists will start kicking away from the returner or electing to go with a squib kick. But it didn't stop Tulsa's Ashlyn Davis in the early aughts. Record holder Barry Sanders, Oklahoma State 1987-88. Barry Sanders was a different kind of special, and this is a record that only someone of his legendary status could have on his resume. The fact that both, imagine it's the day of your season opener, and after months of training camp, spring practice, and off-season weight training, you take it to the house the first time your team gets the ball. Now imagine doing that 2 seasons in a row. That's what Barry Sanders did. Record holders 27, Wichita State 17 vs. Florida State. 27 fumbles in a matchup is more than there are in a typical game of greased watermelon polo in a community swimming pool on the 4th of July. It's what happens if you adjust your Madden settings so that the fumble slider is on 99. It's like playing NFL Street, but the defense always has Game Breaker activated. Okay, you get the point. We will never see a record holder 0, NC State vs. Virginia 9. It's hard to even imagine how NC State beat Virginia 13-0 or Michigan defeated Ohio State 9-3. Actually, it's pretty tough to fathom Michigan beating Ohio State at all. Jokes aside, imagine scoring on 1 or 2 big plays, or using great field position from a turnover or long return to score with a short field, but your team's offense never moves the chains. Not once. Not even from a like several records on this list, it can be tied, but it can never be topped. Record holder 16, VMI vs. Richmond 19. This is pretty self-explanatory. It's not just a defense hounding the opposing quarterback and forcing a high percentage of incompletions, but for the net yardage to be -16 is pretty incredible, and given the way football has embraced the passing game since VMI's defensive performance against Richmond in 1957, it's unlikely that a team will ever have fewer passing yards in a game. Record holders 77, Texas Tech 39 vs. Centenary LA. We already referenced this game with Charlie Calhoun's 1,318 single-game punting yards record. Well, guess what? Here's how this one happened, according to the FBS record book. The game was played in a heavy downpour in Shreveport, Louisiana. 42 punts were returned, 19 went out of bounds, 10 were downed, 1 went into the end zone for a touchback, 4 were blocked and 1 was fair caught. 67 punts, 34 by Texas Tech and 33 by Centenary, occurred on first down plays, including 22 consecutively in the third and fourth quarters. The game was a score, and there you have it. Imagine the state of record holders 0.0, Duke 1938. 9 games. Here's yet another record that can't be broken, because a scoring defense can't get any better than 0 points per game over the course of a season. It's almost impossible. Clemson, the reigning national champion, whose defensive line was full of future NFL players, led the country with a 13.1 points allowed per game average last season. In the last 10 seasons, 2011 Alabama has the best scoring defense at 8.2 points allowed per game, so even a historically great defense will allow more than a touchdown per game, on average. Record holder 6, Carlos Carson, LSU 1977. First reception. It feels like it would require someone in a role like current Tennessee Titans head coach and former New England Patriots LB Mike Vrabel to break this record. Vrabel occasionally, while there's no questioning it's highly unlikely they'd be able to pull off this feat. So it might actually. The post appeared first on
Raindrop, drop top, smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.